This is a new Atomos Ninja V, and I talked to Atomos CEO Jeremy Young about the new recorder.
Cinema 5D at NAB 2018 is brought to you by B&H, the professional source for all your video needs. CVP, your one-stop shop for cine, video, photo, and more. Panasonic, cinematic moments for your production. And Sigma, the art in every lens.
Hi, this is Nino from Cinema 5D. We're here at NAB 2018 at Atomos with Jeremy.
Hey, how you doing?
Thanks for having us again.
No problem.
We have a new product from Atomos apart from the already announced ProRes RAW, which is the Ninja 5. It's not V, right?
V? Yeah. No, but it's Ninja 5.
So it's like the iPhone X.
Roman numerals. Yeah, it's the cool thing to do these days.
So, well, a new entry-level unit from you guys.
Yeah, which has been long awaited. I know people have been waiting for a 5-inch, and the reason we haven't done it so far is that the processors were just a bit hot, and you couldn't really jam it all in with all the features, and I don't really want to cut features. So if we're going to give an Atomos product, we want to give everything that we can. So this does 4K 60, it's HDMI only, the battery life is really, really nice on a small MP570 battery, which was the original Ninja battery. You can get, an hour of runtime, which gives you, longer record times from these DSLRs. But it's built for DSLRs and mirrorless cameras. I see you guys using an A7 II here, and
It's actually
a 3. Oh, it is too, and it's nice, right?
It is nice.
But why wouldn't you give ProRes to that at a 5-inch sitting on top, especially when you're doing some higher quality productions? And that's what we really have delivered. It's a 1920 1080 screen. It's 1,000 nits. It's got all of our HDR wonderfulness. Potentially, it could be it's ProRes and Avid DNX, and we could do ProRes RAW in it, but we don't have a camera to give us RAW over HDMI. So if you hear some rumors about ProRes RAW on the Ninja 5, it is capable of it. We haven't licensed it from Apple for this product yet, so it's not officially a ProRes RAW product, so we can't be saying that. But if you are a 5D owner, or you're an A7S owner, or whatever you are, you should be knocking on the door of your camera maker, asking them, please talk to Atomos about outputting RAW over HDMI to the Ninja 5. And that would also go to the Ninja Inferno as well as the Shogun Inferno. So a lot of customers, I think, would be very happy if their DSLR or mirrorless gave out RAW.
So you mentioned also it does HDR, so you have the same Atom.
Exactly, the same Atom HDR engine, and we're actually working on simplifying that a bit to get, now that the PQ and HLG standards are there, giving you options to just viewing that so you can just expose for that. We were very early to HDR, so we kind of made a few choices in the operating system that allowed you a bit more flexibility, but now those standards are kind of locked in. I think an automated workflow, and we record all that data into the file so it can go directly into NLEs and grading systems, and they know what you shot on. So we've been working really hard with camera makers to give us more data, because that really helps the workflow to set up monitors correctly throughout the process of finishing. And that's super important, because you can often output something and go, what happened? It doesn't look very good. But really you did shoot it correctly. There's some incompatibility on the setup between each side. So we want to automate that.
So there's also something else new. You're using a new drive here?
Yes. So we have always believed in backwards compatibility for our customers. So we had our Master Caddy 1, and then we had the Master Caddy 2, which had a bit more locking in it, and 2 keyways here. And it was open because we wanted to open up the media to get more heat dissipation. And SSDs have changed internally to be much smaller, but they haven't shrunk externally because of the form factor that everything already had backwards compatible. Well, because we have our own kind of ecosystem going on, we've made this to be backwards compatible with the bigger SSD size, but you can see that we're announcing a system called the Atom X accessory range. And inside that is anything that's supported by our products, just to make it easy. So if you see an Atom X, Atom with a big X next to it, then you will know that is supported in Atomos products. So this is one of the first Atom X accessories.
So you make your own SSDs now, kind of like you have your own.
Well, we're partnering with the other guys, like the main players.
But
like
is this Atomos branded? And
it will probably have by G technology or by Sony or by. There's quite a few that we're working with, and that is not the same width. It's our caddy width, so it's a little bit wider than a normal SSD, but it's really thin, right, and really short. And that's all you need to get like 2 terabytes into. And you can see that when that sits in there, That's a really nice, I mean,
And it enables you to make the whole device thinner because now you can have the battery next to the SSD.
exactly. This bit here is 2.5 centimeters, 1 inch thick. Or in my marketing, I say 1 inch thin. That's what you'll see tomorrow. And also, it's only 320 grams or 11 ounces.
Yeah.
So it's really, really light. And one battery, small battery, that will not kill your rig. I mean, if I put that in your hand,
It's much lighter than the original, or the last Ninja 2.
yeah, the last Ninja 2, because it was, the electronics were different, the screen was a bit bigger, whereas we've learned a lot to keep the screen thinner. The LEDs are more efficient these days, so we don't have to put as many on the screen. But because we control everything from end to end, and I don't think a lot of customers, I'm going to keep saying it for years and years, we control from input through to display, through to record. Every line of code, every processing of every pixel is done by us, which means we can be more efficient. And you'll continue to see us shrink products as fast as we can, which make it more practical for use. And we're learning that this market is still growing exponentially because of those video drives we were talking about in our last interview, that there are more and more people needing to deliver better quality. And this type of solution lets you frame better on your smaller camera.
It really unlocks your camera,
It unlocks your camera. It unlocks your camera. And that's the message from us is this is going to be, wait for it, $695 US. Wow. Nice in the sweet spot of just on top of a $2,000 or $3,000 camera. This is the perfect companion.
When will it ship?
It will ship Q3 this year. So probably around July timeframe. We don't expect it to go much further than that. Hopefully we can get a bit earlier, but I don't want to disappoint people by promising something we can't quite hit.
Okay, awesome, Jeremy. It's getting really loud here because it's still the day before
It
NAB,
is.
actually, to be
Giving
honest.
you the scoop.
Giving us the scoop. Thanks for that, really appreciate
No
it.
problem.
And yeah, thanks everybody for watching. This is Cinema 5D. We're here at NAB 2018, and stay tuned for much more from this show.